So let me ask this. What does someone like the Prime Minister of Australia mean when he says that reducing Australia's contribution to global climate change, these are his words, was a long-term solution, and the government is pursuing that in response to incredibly and increasingly frequent flooding? I mean, Albanese is saying if we don't take action, quote, these extreme weather events would be more often and more intense. Surely, without mixing with language, this is sheer ignorance.
It's sheer ignorance. It's totally incorrect. The levels of flooding, the levels of rainfall, the levels of whatever are not changed in any statistical sense over the past century. I'll tell you what he does mean. He means he's gone to do the political research, and they've got the focus groups, and he said this, so he's responding to the focus group. He hasn't got a clue in terms of the science, and he doesn't want to know the science, or in terms of the actual metrics of the levels of rainfall or bushfires or whatever else. These are totally irrelevant to him. All he needs to do is try to explain to people and feed people the lies that they're being fed by various people over the last dozen years.
It's frightening. It is frightening. And kids are getting this in class and everywhere. I mean, even the International Panel on Climate Change, and I am paraphrasing a bit, not in their words, but they have acknowledged that as the climate is changing, which it always will, we're arguing about what causes this, and it's not carbon dioxide. They've acknowledged floods are less frequent, haven't they, and less severe. On droughts, well, I mean, there's any amount of data that we've had droughts since our inception as a nation, but since 1900, droughts of all lengths have become less frequent and less widespread. Isn't this what the evidence says?
The evidence says that, yeah, in fact, the actual number, the number of droughts and the amount of rainfall have both declined slightly, but basically they've not changed. I mean, you could say they've gone up and down. You look at a long-term trend. Around that long-term trend, there's a lot of volatility up and down. There is no trend to increase droughts or no trend to increase rainfall levels, no trend to increase flooding. And, you know, one of the tokenistic things is the Great Barrier Reef. They say, oh, well, it's going to destroy the Great Barrier Reef. We're going to pour billions of dollars into saving it. Well, you look at the Great Barrier Reef, it's more healthy now, it's bigger now than it's been in any of the recorded levels that we've had over the last 10 or 15 years.
Absolutely. But you've got this, and you would have noted it, I think it's this week, isn't it, the International Panel on Climate Change. The scientists have delivered what they're calling a final warning on what they call the climate crisis, and they say the world is being pushed to the brink of irrevocable damage. I mean, seriously, Alan Moran, shouldn't this outfit be wound up? We've had this alarmism for decades.
Well, it should be wound up. But of course, that is not the scientists saying that. If you read the scientists, there's 3,000 pages of very dense caveats and blah, blah, blah. This is the summary for policymakers, which is made by a bunch of bureaucrats or politicized bureaucrats, appointed bureaucrats, who are basically massaging the words which the scientists have made, which are really very neutral, saying, oh, well, it could be going up, it might not be, whatever. They say it is going up, and it's all due to you.
I know,
you've got to do something about it.
But let's be serious. I mean, let's be serious. There'll be headlines everywhere because the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, now, I don't know what this bloke's read, and I don't know what his agenda is, but these are his words about this latest report. This is the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres. There it is on your screen. This report is a clarion call to massively fast-track climate efforts by every country and every sector and on every time frame. Our world needs climate action on all fronts, everything, everywhere, all at once. Dr. Moran, this is the new religion. How do you stop it?
I don't know. It's been coming for 10 years, 20 years, more. And how you stop it in the end and the only way is by continuing to say, here are the facts. And also to say, your solution to stopping this is we stop burning coal, we stop burning oil and gas, and we reduce our living standards.